It's been 8 long years since we commanded the forces of the Spirit of Fire against the Covenant Armada. Halo Wars 2 is already actually out for people who pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, but some of you are no doubt still trying to figure out if the console RTS is right for you. Halo Wars 2 gets its full release on Xbox One and Windows 10 on Tuesday, February 21st, so here's everything you need to know about the game before you go play it. For the uninitiated, Halo Wars 2 is a real-time strategy game by Microsoft and Creative Assembly, the same Creative Assembly behind the Total War franchise. That is a change from the first game. Halo Wars 1 was actually developed in part by Ensemble Studios, the makers of Age of Empires. Both games follow the crew of the UNSC ship the Spirit of Fire, led by Captain Cutter as he faces down Covenant threats. In Cutter's shoes, you're tasked with building bases on hostile worlds, gathering resources, and issuing orders to troops to defend against the Covenant or take down their strongholds. One thing that makes Halo Wars and its sequel unique is that they're both built from the ground up for Microsoft's Xbox console, and as such have been adapted for controller play. Anyone who plays a lot of RTS can tell you how unique that is. One of the only other good ones I think was Civilization Revolution. They're very rare on console to get a good RTS. Halo Wars 1 had a few issues in that department, but by all accounts it seems like Halo Wars 2 has moved to fix some of the complaints from the first game. The biggest change in Halo Wars 2 is that you can now assign groups with hotkeys, giving you a little bit more precise control over what the hell your armies are doing. Previously, Halo Wars only allowed you to select all units, or the units you could see on the screen, and so you were constantly sending all your forces after one target. One of the most promising features of Halo Wars 2, like Halo Wars before it, is its story. Part of that has to do with when it takes place. The first game took place at the outset of the conflict with the Covenant, but at the end, the UNSC Spirit of Fire and its crew put themselves into hypersleep after suffering heavy losses in a campaign against the Covenant and the Flood. In Halo Wars 2, they awake 28 years later, which puts them right in line with the current events of the Halo timeline. So this story could provide some important context for whatever happens in Halo 6 or Halo Wars 3, or really just whatever directions the franchise itself could take in future entries. In this entry, the Spirit of Fire awakens to a new threat, Atriox, a powerful brute warlord who defected from the Covenant. So who knows, maybe he'll come back for the next actual Halo game. The story is helped along by cutscenes created by AAA animation studio Blur. From early reviews, the story is worthy of a mainline Halo game. However, it's a common complaint from us and others that it doesn't quite go long enough, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger because Microsoft is already trying to prepare us for Halo Wars 3 or Halo 6 or whatever, apparently, the future entries. Come on guys, we're all tired of the finish the fight moment. That being said though, average playtime for the single player campaign is reportedly around 8 hours, so for an RTS, pretty brief. However, there are some reasons to play through the campaign more than once. Like other Halo games, it offers multiple difficulties and different rewards for completing missions with better scores. Some of those rewards translate to the game's new multiplayer Blitz mode, which we'll talk about more in just a moment. In addition to playing the campaign single player, you can also play through it with a buddy, just like Halo Wars 1. But if you'd rather just stomp on your friends' armies instead of working alongside them, because you're not that great of friends after all, then you can hop into the game's extensive multiplayer, which has seen an upgrade over the limited modes of Halo Wars 1. The standard multiplayer modes in Halo Wars 2 include Domination, Deathmatch, and Strongholds, which can be played with up to 6 players for 3v3 across 8 different maps. Domination is all about controlling bases on the map and scoring points, while Deathmatch is all about wiping out the other team's bases. Strongholds, one of the new additions to the game, provides you with unlimited resources and all upgrades right from the start. So it's basically just a rush to get the biggest army as fast as possible and start smashing it against your opponents. But the crown jewel of Halo Wars 2's revamped multiplayer is none other than Blitz mode, which is such a big deal they gave Blitz its own separate entry from multiplayer. Blitz mode combined the regular RTS multiplayer with a kind of deck building game, so rather than upgrading a tech tree and building your base, you build units based on what cards you have in your deck. Decks include 12 cards total, and they can be customized based on the cards you have available. New cards are earned through daily or weekly challenges or playing through other parts of the game to unlock them, or through microtransactions, but we'll get to that. Each hero, there are 6 total, has their own unique cards as well. You can save 3 custom decks for each one, which means you can have 18 total decks to work with and craft your strategy. The actual matches work just like any other multiplayer match, but there's a little bit of a luck of the draw associated with them now, since you only have access to 4 cards at a time, and you can only play cards if you have enough resources. It strips out the base management of RTS and adds a little bit more random element to it. However, there are a couple of mixed responses to Blitz early on. There are a lot of cards to unlock and earn. On the one hand, that means a lot of replayability, which is good. On the other, it could be seen as pushing you to spend money to buy the cards and the card packs you need via the microtransactions, because you can do that through the Microsoft Store. Right now, prices range from anywhere from $2.99 for 3 packs up to $100 for 135 packs. Those prices, of course, being US dollars. Your mileage will vary based on your region. Australia got boned again with $140 for the high end. Considering different cards are rare and provide better bonuses, some could see all this as pay to win. So be a little bit careful with that, be cautious, but again, you can still unlock everything through normal play. And if you're concerned about pay to win, Blitz also comes in Firefight mode, which is a spin-off meant for co-op play. Firefight works very similar to Halo's Firefight mode, with you and a friend trying to outlast waves of increasingly difficult Covenant enemies, only now you have the randomness of Blitz mode thrown in for even more of a challenge. Halo Wars 2, like other Microsoft Studios titles, is part of the Play Anywhere program, meaning you can switch between playing it on your Xbox One and your PC freely, picking up from anywhere in the campaign really, in case having it on multiple platforms is a bit of a selling point for you. However, the game doesn't feature cross-play, which makes sense for multiplayer, but not quite so much for co-op. That means you won't be able to play campaign co-op or Blitz Firefight with a friend. This isn't a huge surprise, it's been communicated from early in the game's development, but that's something you should know regardless. The features between the PC and Xbox One versions are also all basically the same, since Play Anywhere games are, well, they're essentially the same on both platforms. It's just a lot easier to play in RTS with a mouse and keyboard, which is why that's where RTS reigns supreme. So that just about does it for our look at everything you need to know about the game before you go out. Pick up Halo Wars 2. Are you planning on getting it? Let us know in the comments. Now, for more information on all the biggest new releases, of course, make sure you check out more videos in our Know Before You Go series. If you want to know how the game is being received critically, we do have an Is It Good? We'll have that in the end slate for you as well. And if you want to see more of it in action before you make your decision, we'll be doing a stream next week that you can check out.
That ship brought these monsters. Killed everyone I was supposed to protect.
Where you see half a crew, Isabel, I see family. And where you see one old ship, I see home.